Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. But as I'm getting older, I can't stand drinking whiskey with ice. So here's to the real stuff. Cheers. So, what was the highlight of last week's news? Everything about the workforce, DPM pledges 4G leaders' commitment to unions, 4G leaders to keep bond with workers, tripartite model has helped Singapore weather crisis. After 50 years of tripartite relationship between the government, the union and the employer, what has Singapore really achieved in terms of paying our own people well? I believe, and I may be wrong, that 70% of Singaporeans, not foreigners, earn less than $2,000 a month. Mr. DPM, I suggest you realign the relationship. The union must work with the people, not with the government and the employers. This article on Sunsip's floating solar system being the world's largest offshore floating solar system, as usual in Singapore, we will always be the largest and the fastest, caught my eye. But what really surprised me was this sentence: ideal for land-scarce Singapore where roof space is limited. I think they should examine the statement. Singapore has the highest number of HDB flats, condominiums, etc. We got plenty of roof space. We should use that for solar harvesting. Maybe they need to use water to cool down the solar panels. We can also do that. We can catch rainwater on the rooftop and have a circulatory pump that cools down the solar panels. We have never really looked at solar because how would PUB make plenty of money? Penang proposes joint Singapore-Malaysia UNESCO horticulture bid. There's no problem for them to apply for it and we to also apply for it, or we apply for it jointly, because the whole idea is to get UNESCO recognition for hawker culture. They don't have to operate in a hawker center. They can even operate in a shopping center, but the point is the food is prepared by a hawker. They are passionate about the way they prepare their food and it tastes fantastic. So it is really sad to read this. 108-year-old beef noodle chain to close down. Why is she closing down? She said they try to stay competitive in this industry, but very difficult because they are asked to go technology, but she says it goes against my principles. I can't put chemicals and processed food inside the bowls for my customers. So I hope both the Malaysian government and the Singapore government will listen to what a real hawker is saying about helping them to survive and produce good hawker food and the culture of hawker food. This week's poll question is based on Penang proposes joint Singapore-Malaysia UNESCO horticulture bid. And the question is, should Singapore and Malaysia jointly apply for the UNESCO Hawker Heritage Award, or should Singapore apply on its own? Look at the link and make your vote because it is important to all of us. And now, the answer to our poll last week. Is punishment the only answer, or should we suggest counselling for that boy who took the picture of the girl showering in the university hostel? 37.5% said punish him. 25% said counsel him. 37.5% gave us suggestions. I'll read out two of the interesting ones. One is counsel and penalties that allow him to reflect and then contribute to society again. And this is a cute one. If he was punished harder from the start, none of this would have blown up. Instead, we should punish NUS and the police force law Heng Swee Keat reaffirms PAP NTUC's symbiotic ties. Minister Heng, please walk outside of your safe bubble and ask the ordinary worker whether NTUC has helped our people or helped their leaders. This must be a NTUC May Day joke. Minister CAWWI getting an award. Why should he be given a medal for doing his job well? He's paid very well, he gets plenty of bonus. NTUC is committed to helping workers' companies transform. This Minister Ng Chee Meng says the growth of 4.2% per annum compared to the rest of Singapore, where wage growth was 3.5%. This is for union leaders. What is 4.2% on $1,200? $50. Another NTUC joke or what? Poor Minister Shanmugam, he keeps having to explain how the law on fake news will work. He's so desperate, he even got an alien to help him explain it. But Minister, the alien speak very bad English, so the English educated not interested. But the Chinese educated also cannot understand. So please, can you please learn to speak Mandarin? Amber Park sells 115 of 150 units and 85% of buyers who are Singaporeans, okay? Let me ask these people to be honest. 85% Singaporeans or new Singaporeans from all these countries who are here taking advantage of our tax situation, parking their laundered money here and bringing their crooked ways into my country. Please give me the real answer. How many of them are truly born and bred Singaporeans? I'm really happy to see many questions from people in this Ask Ivy part. My husband likes to drink a lot. When he comes home, he beats me up. When I cry, he asks me to shut up or he will beat me more. How can I stop my husband from beating me? Let me tell you something. Don't bother calling the police. Don't call Aware. Call me, 981-66342, and he will never beat anyone anymore in his life. Terence, 38 years old, asked this. Ivy, do you think modern-day feminists are demanding too much? Some of them are not asking for equality but superiority over men. Terence, let me tell you a secret. I'm a fierce woman, but I never could be a feminist because I always needed to wear my bra because I have big tits. So I don't believe in all these kind of campaigns, you know. The idea is not about superiority. The idea is to be fair. When I beat my husband, I'm very fair. I ask him to choose the cane size that he likes. And I choose where I want to cane him. Ellie, who is 35 years old, asked me this question. Do you support gay marriages? Yes, I do. But I don't think that our country is ready for gay marriages to then have children because the children won't fit into our society. So that's my only worry, that once we approve gay marriages, then people will want to also have children in that relationship, and our country is not ready for a child from a gay union. This is an interesting question. Who do you think will win the elections? I mean, you must be an idiot to think that the opposition will win, right? Because the opposition is not so hot. The PAP will win, right? Because many people live in HDB and they are frightened to vote against the PAP. But there's a lot of young people who will not vote for the PAP because they want to see change. So the PAP will lose a few more seats. And really, if they dare to remove the GRC and have all single wards, I think they will lose at least 20 seats. Thank you for watching Coffee and Whiskey with Ivy. A tip for investment. I heard on the radio you should buy gold because you can sleep with it, you can stroke it, and it might even grow. So, husbands, when your wife buys a block of gold, be careful. We may not need our husbands anymore.